Hey guys, how's it going? Just taking time to share with you another dream. I hope everybody is doing well and you're having a fantastic week. This dream that I had, this one actually took place last month. Start of February is when it took place. And this one was a lot different than the other ones that I've had. It was a lot shorter, but also it was terrifying. It wasn't pleasant. It was very scary. It felt more like a nightmare. Like in character, in the way that it happened. But I promise you it's significant. I knew that it was the moment I had it, and I was like, so anyway, so that specific night, I was spending some time with the Lord and really praying about some things, and just really asking for some confirmation on things, and yeah, it's abnormal for me, but that particular night, I just knew, like, I was expectant of having a dream and hearing from the Lord. I was expectant. So when I got ready for bed, I was so expectant that I was actually praying over my sleep, dreams, conscious, unconscious, subconscious mind, you name it. I was covering it all with the blood, because I didn't want, like, the enemy to try and interfere in any way that he does when we're vulnerable and sleeping. I just wanted to have it covered, and whatnot. So anyways, that's what I did. I prayed, and then I went to sleep. And the crazy thing is, this happened like within the first hour that I fell asleep. Because when I woke up from the dream, it was barely even an hour after I had fallen asleep. So like right away, immediately, I had received this dream. So this is definitely a tribulation dream, and I took time after I received it to really pray about it, and boy did the Lord confirm it, and in the usual way that he does, a very unique and very cool way, he confirmed it multiple times actually over the weeks. So anyways, okay, so yes, let's get to the dream. So basically, we were in a cave, and when I say we, there was multiple people with me in this cave, and this cave was really huge and really vast. It was very, very vast and very dark and very empty. It was by no means any sort of cave that you could just, oh, hey, let's go inside and explore, and let's take our flashlight and walk around. Like, no, you couldn't. Like, the ground had like this big crevice. There was no ground to walk on. This cave wasn't meant for people, but we were in there because it was the only safe place that we could find. And the only way to get around was by like literally clinging on to the sides of the rocky wall and just maneuvering your way around just to get deeper into the cave, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And that's what the whole group of us were doing. But we were doing it. There was so much dread and fear and terror in this dream that we felt. It was very heavy. And the reason is because we were being pursued by somebody very deeply evil and sinister, and they were pursuing us for our lives, and we were hiding for our lives, and we were so desperate. This was the best that we could find, was this cave. And the dream, as short as it is, it was a major emphasis on the atmosphere of what we were feeling, but also what I knew what was happening. So anyways, we're climbing in this cave, we're trying to get deeper and deeper and further in, and the person that was pursuing us had this major status of superiority, like a higher status, a higher level person. Again, emphasis on sinister. It was terrifying. And they also had their people that they were in charge of that were also coming after us. So we knew that a big group that he was in charge of was coming after us. And it was really scary. It was pretty freaky. So anyways, and then when I woke up from the dream, my heart was just pounding. Like, I was feeling it. It was intense. I looked at the clock and I was like, whoa, it's not even been an hour yet. That's insane. But I knew that I knew it was important. At the moment I woke up, as groggy and as in much of a stupor, like sleep stupor that I was in, I knew I knew that I knew. I knew what this dream was. And I knew it was important, so I didn't want to forget. So, as groggy as I was, I pulled out my phone really quickly to try and wake myself up, and tried scrolling through it and just wake my brain up, but it was really hard. I started to fall asleep with the phone in my hands. So then I tried to like recall all the things, because there was a lot more that happened in the dream, but I just could not remember it. And the harder that I tried to like think back and remember what happened in the dream, the more fear and terror, and the more my mind was getting pulled in and re-entered into what I was experiencing in that dream. And it was terrifying. And it was really hard for me. I couldn't segregate that from the event. So I couldn't go back in and remember the further events that took place without that happening. And it was just too overwhelming. It was already really scary. And I was just so tired. I couldn't. So at that point I just said, okay, Lord, I'm going to bed. I'm just going to go to sleep again. Don't let me forget this. Let me remember it in the morning. So when I woke up in the morning, thank the Lord, I remembered everything. So I immediately wrote it all down. And I even remembered a few extra details as well. And I'll share some of that also. So I remember the image, the appearance that this superior individual looked like, what appearance took place. And he kept flashing between these different appearances, but the one was like a ravenous wolf, a dark ravenous wolf. And then the second appearance was a really clean-cut looking gent, like in a tuxedo. He was obviously well-to-do in his appearance and his stature and everything. But he kept switching between the two, right? And when I woke up, I knew that it was a tribulation dream. I knew that we were all Christians in that cave. And I knew we were being pursued by the Antichrist. And it makes so much sense too, because of course, the Antichrist is totally going to take those kinds of appearances. He is going to be ravenous like a wolf, and he is also going to have the appearance that's going to make the world go ooh, wow, he's got it all together, he talks so good, he's so high up there, he's so amazing, and that's how he looked in this dream. So this dream/nightmare, this was literally on my mind all day long, that morning, all through work. I couldn't get it off my mind. It was just so severe and so impacting and stuff. So I was just really praying to the Lord about what he wanted to say with all of that. I always just hash out what I think and what I feel, and then he'll go ahead and he'll confirm it, or he'll kind of direct me here, or say, no, it's this, or just whatever after that. So I just kind of shared that with him, Lord, that really felt like that was the tribulation. That was really intense and really freaky. And over the weeks, a lot of prayer, a lot of time with the Lord, and he definitely confirmed it in the unique way that he does, right? He always answers us, and he does it uniquely in such a specific way, and that's what he did in this case. And I just knew that I knew, and it kind of blew me off my seat when he did. And then, of course, showed me a bit more about it too. So after praying about this for the whole day, went to bed, thought about it before bed, went and prayed, fell asleep. Next day, went the whole day again praying about it. And then after work, I'll share one of the ways that he had confirmed it, because I was just like, what? But anyway, I had gotten home from work, and I was kind of just winding down and chilling, and I was just scrolling through my phone, and I thought, I'll just open up YouTube and see what's going on there. And on my home feed, the very, very, very first thing at the very top of my home feed was this video short of a lady's rapture dream that she had, and I was like, cool, let's see what she's seen. Clicked on it. I'm not even kidding. The very first words that came out of her mouth were, we were in a cave. What? I like hit pause really quickly and I was like, Lord, what are you doing? And I just kind of sat there for a minute and took it in and then sat back down and hit play. And she literally described everything that I felt and seen and experienced in my dream. And she said, like, you know, she was in a dream and she was hiding out from the Antichrist. She actually used like those specific titles though in hers, but she was saying they were hiding out from the Antichrist because they were being pursued, and there was a whole group of Christians. They were all hiding out and they were kind of walking through the forest, and they were trying to find other believers because that was common practice in the tribulation days, like hiding out and looking for others that can join your group that also believe in Christ and sticking together. And she just went into this little spiel about everything that she experienced, and it was literally what I experienced. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was just crazy because I literally, in all the years that I've been watching people's rapture dreams and stuff, and days dreams, whatever, their testimonies, I've never heard somebody actually describe that specifically, like a cave experience and all that other stuff. Like it's usually other things, like they're going about the regular routine and then ... or they were shopping and then ... or they were with their family somewhere and looked in the sky ... like it's just something. But I've never heard that before, and I was like, whoa. And then yeah, I haven't seen anything since, but like when the Lord speaks, you just know it. And that was insane, because the one time I did hear it was like right after I had asked the Lord to confirm that to me, and it was like literally the next day, like a day later. It was just really cool. So just some really interesting verses to go with this, and they make total sense, because even the way that the Bible describes the Antichrist when he comes and he does what he's going to do, these verses very much cover exactly what I was feeling, and I knew it was coming after us and stuff. The first one is Daniel 7, verse 25. It says, "He will speak words against the Most High, and he will oppress the holy ones of the Most High. He will intend to change religious festivals and laws, and the holy ones will be handed over to him for a time, times, and half a time." Okay, so I had, when I was writing this out, I had underlined specific words that really stood out in the mood of what I was feeling in this dream. But it says, like, he's going to oppress the holy ones of the Most High, which is exactly how we felt. It was awful. And then the verse also goes to point out that he'll intend to change religious laws and festivals. Who can change laws? Only somebody who's got the authority to change laws, right? Like, laws can only be changed by somebody that has that sort of power and influence to do so. And I mean, he's going to be in charge of the whole planet. Like, the state of the world is going to be so extreme. It can and it will. It will come to that. It will come to a point where they are going to appoint a leader. I mean, they're already talking about it. King Charles is already talking about it, and there's lots of different cases where they talk about it. And it's already like something on the table. It's just a matter of time. But anyways, that will happen. It's going to happen. And like, even the way that they describe him, like, he's going to speak words against the Most High. Who's the Most High? Is Jesus Christ, right? And he's everything good. Everything good comes by his hand, right? Like, God is good. If you have somebody that oppresses a good God, the creator of the universe, who is ultimately and completely and fully good, this guy ain't gonna be no good. He's gonna be terrifying. Hence the oppressing and all the other stuff that he does. And then the latter part of that verse says that, the holy ones will be handed over to him. So it will be a life of pursuit for your life. You are going to have to lay your life down for Jesus if you're left behind going through the tribulation. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a picnic. When people say, like, oh, I'll wait, and if I go in the tribulation, so be it, but at least the first 3.5 years will be easy. No, they will not. Tribulation, okay, anything that has the title tribulation, it means exactly that. It doesn't mean good times. Like, there's the tribulation and then the great tribulation, like, partway through when things really get intense. It doesn't make the first portion of tribulation less terrifying and less awful. Tribulation is a tribulation. It's going to be bad. Anyway, the next verse is Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. It says, he was permitted to wage war against the saints and conquer them. He was also given authority over every tribe of people, language, and nation. This guy is going to be in control and nothing will stop him. Like, he's allowed his appointed time to do what he needs to do. It is not going to be fun. And it says, wage wars against the saints. Like, specific target. The people of God will be his pursuit. His life's pursuit. Because he needs them wiped out. Because he needs everybody to jump on board with him. What he needs to do. He needs to separate everybody from God. He needs to have them all take the mark. Ain't going to be pretty. Next verse, Daniel 8:24. His power will be great, but it will not be his own. He will cause terrible destruction and succeed in whatever he does. He will destroy the powerful along with the holy people. Again, emphasis on what he's going to be set out to do. His pursuit is going to be the people of God. And at the start, it says his power will be great, but it will not be his own. If he's against the Lord and speaks against the Lord and everything he does, who do you think he gets his power from? He's the Antichrist. And Satan hates us. He hates us, he hates God, and so he hates us because God loves us so much, so he hates us so much. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be intense. It's going to be awful. Daniel 11:36-37. Basically says that he will say outrageous things and not magnify God. He will magnify himself alone. He's gonna be all about himself. Everything that he does and says fully is gonna be about himself, his pursuits, his desires, where he wants the world, that domination, that destruction, that control. Oh my gosh, it's going to be terrifying. So all that to say this: choose Jesus. Choose him while you can. Choose him while there's time. Choose him, like, before things get crazy. Because, he is coming back. Jesus is coming back. He is coming for his church. He doesn't want anybody to go through that time. And it's not his intention or his desire to have his kids do so. The Lord, that's why he says, come to me, the time is now. Now is the time for salvation. Choose Jesus. Best decision you'll ever make. I promise, man, you won't regret it. It'll be amazing. I don't want you to have to go through, even, I'm sure what I felt, the terror and the fear and the awfulness that I felt in that dream was nothing compared to reality. But still, what I felt was terrible. It was awful. I don't want anybody to go through that. If you're scared to come to the Lord, don't be scared. If you feel like he's literally the softest, sweetest, most loving, most wonderful God. You can come to him completely. You don't have to be scared. If you've been burnt by a church, don't judge God because imperfect people in a building that are supposed to represent him didn't. And they messed up. They're not God. They're not the gospel. Like Jesus is. Judge it by the source. Who's the source? Jesus Christ is the source, and he died for you. If you feel hurt or burned from a church and you're not so sure about religion and God and Jesus and all that stuff, arm swipe all of that and go to him directly and talk to him directly and, just ask him, Lord, are you real? Do you really love me? Like, whatever it is that's on your heart, like, the Lord wants to hear what's on your heart. He can take it. If you're angry, he can handle it. Are you kidding? Like, look at all the people in the Bible that he dealt with, but he did miraculous things with them, and he loved them and transformed their lives. And he loves you. He can handle anything that you're going through or anything that you need to throw at him. I mean, Jacob wrestled, for goodness sakes, in the Old Testament, and the Lord didn't go, oh, you're just so terrible, how dare you? Like, no, the Lord can handle it. If you just don't know much about Jesus, trust me, get a Bible, find a church, whatever, reach out to me, anybody else online, like friends that you know of that know the Lord, ask questions, start digging, start pursuing, have a conversation with God. He's more than happy to reveal himself to you. He wants nothing more than to reconcile you to him. Like, that's his dream. That's what it's all about. Reconciling his kids, saving you through the salvation that he provided when he died on the cross and made a way for you to come to him, abolishing sin, rising again and taking the keys of Hades, taking the keys of death and saying, ha, Satan, didn't see that one, did ya? It was perfect. And he did it for you. So anyways, that's my rant. I love you lots. I love you guys. I hope you have a good night, and we'll see you next time.